Hello again, welcome to beautiful Bridlington. It's Saturday the 10th of February 2024, air temperature 6 degrees. This reminds me of a poem that I vaguely remember. In Xanadu did Kubla Khan a stately pleasure dome decree, where Alf the sacred river ran through caverns measureless to man to a sunless sea. And there it goes. There's a very weak sun. As the great wind turbines on the Yorkshire coast further south stand totally idle, generating no electricity whatsoever, most people I think are still in bed. There is the cavern with the river exiting. Let's have a walk along the front here. I also remember another poem vaguely. I think this one's by James Elroy Flecker. A linnet who had lost their way. By the way, if you're watching this from Tierra del Fuego on the tip of South America, a linnet is a European bird, a small one. A linnet who had lost her way sang on a battered bough in hell, till all the ghosts remembered well the sun, the wind, the golden day. And that just about sums up Bridlington this morning. It's very cold and bleak. However, you've got the sun there, which, as you'll notice, is a little bit, if you watch any of my videos of Bridlington in winter, it's noticeably higher for this time in the morning, which of course means we're heading in the direction of springtime. Thank goodness. But there is something definitely special about coming to a British seaside resort such as Bridlington on a morning such as this in winter. You've got it to yourself, basically. I'll film these birds just in case any of the members of the Royal Society for Protection of Birds are watching. So what are these birds, guys, with the long beaks? Let me know in the comments. And here we have the twin screws of the dredger, the gypsy race, with what looks like a gigantic bleached skull or lobster claw. However, I'm sure it's something different. Looks like the dredger's been digging a few holes here in the harbour. I also remember, that's the Gypsy Race river there, so it's called. No, sort of allegedly called the Gypsy Race River, of which the dredger presumably is named after. Called the Gypsy Race River because it's supposed to run through gypsum rock. However, I remember back in the day in the 1950s, someone saying to me, an adult, a local in Bridlington, it's actually got nothing to do with the river running through gypsum rock. Make of that what you will. Look at the beauty though of the harbour. We're coming up to the wonderful Bridlington's Crane Wharf, where from here we can see some of the structure. Let's have a closer look. Here we'll just notice before we go down there that you have to pay 20 pence to use the toilet here. And whether that's Bridlington Harbour Commission taking the money, I don't know, but all the other toilets in Bridlington are free. So it looks like it's been a bit rough here. Let's have a walk down these highly dangerous steps. I'll just switch. I just switched the 0.5 lens on the iPhone 15 Pro Max here. There is the underwater toilet, which I've mentioned on a few occasions before. You can see, look at the, just there have been high waves blowing seaweed up there. And in fact, it doesn't look really safe to go further down here due to the tide washing all the shingle in. You can still see the tyres are embedded in the Crane Wharf here for approximately ever since the wharf was built. So we'll go this far, have a look. Nothing changes. 3 tyres embedded in the structure. Here we have the what almost seems like a higgledy-piggledy structure, allegedly supporting the wharf above. You'll notice some of the beams don't actually touch the structure above. I suppose you could call this air gap technology. Why would you have an air gap like that? Let's just enter the world of surrealism for a moment or two. Science fiction, okay? So just imagine they're building this wharf back in the 1950s. It seems the structure just actually thrown together, higgledy-piggledy, haphazardly. At least it just seems like that to the uneducated eye. Perhaps one of the engineers who might be watching this could comment on what you think of this structure. But I thought, sort of in imagination and watching too many science fiction films, what would they be thinking then in the 1950s when they built this? You think, oh well, we've seen the future, what Bridlington might turn into once the golden age is over. So we'll actually build these air gaps in and not hold the surface up with them, so that if there's a good lightning strike on the top in decades to come, sparks will actually jump, electricity will jump then, the lightning, from the concrete to the tip of these beams, and would actually send a message out to Alpha Centauri. You'll notice they're very carefully spaced, and the gap, like perhaps your spark plug on your old car, very carefully calculated gap. So what would the old engineers, and I say engineers advisedly in inverted commas, have sent a message asking for help to another race? Of course that message would be help, because this is Bridlington. Having said that, back to reality. It's beautiful, isn't it? Don't you wish you were here today? I might even very tentatively walk out here. Okay, let's try to make it back up the steps. Look how high the seaweed is here. Wow, there must have been waves washing right over the well, it's just a normal mention of effluent entering the harbour. But just look how high the waves must have been within the actual harbour itself. Oh, I've just been advised by a gentleman there at the hot dog £1 stand how it happens. You'll see the seaweed here all over the place. It actually doesn't come up from waves in the harbour. It comes over the far wall here, over there, this way, and waves, seawater rushes down here in a torrent and then goes down the steps there. looking now sort of northeast in the direction of Flamborough Head, which is well hidden in this early morning fog. And here we have Bridlington's North Beach. The stately pleasure dome, you're wondering about that perhaps. You know, you've seen Alf the Sacred River. Well, the stately pleasure dome, I suppose, at Bridlington would be the amusement arcades. At one time it would probably have been the structure just there, the floral pavilion. And if you went back far enough into the days of culture, you would probably see Edwin Harper with his, and it was an 8-piece or a 14-piece orchestra. It really was a beautiful time when that was still operating, and I just caught the end of it in the very early 1980s. But what does it really matter? Different generation, different times, different things. Here am I from a childhood in the 1950s, and I've got a phone. I spend all day on the phone. You know how it is, reading e-books, learning on Reddit, all the things that are going on in the world, and technical opinions from all over the world. In case you're wondering, it's quite cold on the hands. Just about managing to walk as I usually do, holding the phone in front of my face. But again, it's Saturday morning, so the fishing fleet is tied up. And there is the pirate boat again. The pirate ship, always seeming ready for action. I was told it's the last 2 days there's been a sort of an intense storm with the water coming over. Must have been intense. Look at that. Unusual to see breakers so far out. Bearing in mind it's nothing like low tide at the moment. And so once again, it's goodbye from Bridlington Harbour. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye for now.